Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time on to episode number 2 of season 6, and again, as we usually do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season premieres, we had a banger of an opener for this season. We were introduced to a lot, ideally just like the kind of key pieces for this season, or at least if they're doing like the first half of the like it being like its own pod, then the opener for this pod. But we started off with Fitz and Enoch being attacked out in space. I think it cut like not too much into his 70 year cryo kind of sleep thing into the first year, and then a bit more I think maybe because I think he said like I think Enoch mentioned like 73 years left on his actual count and everything, so just a bit into the first year. So they were attacked, and then the ship was like sliced in half, and half of it crash landed on a planet. And I think it was the half that had the actual cryopod in it that was tossed aside, and then the other half was taken away by the people that actually cut it and everything. So, but then Fitz wasn't in the pod, so him and Enoch actually managed to escape. And we saw him in the end, as well, in like a little post-credit scene. We saw Fitz. He was pumping himself up with some kind of alien kind of shit, and his eyes went all kind of. Can't remember what colour they were, but they were really bold. Like it was, his eyes like a really bold kind of popping out kind of colour and everything, and he was speaking like an alien language too. So I think one thing I actually did pick up on after the fact was him and Gemma, but both actually kind of took it upon themselves to actually understand and acclimate to alien kind of culture and alien language at the very least. Like him in terms of actually speaking it, but then Gemma in terms of actually reading and understanding it and stuff, and actually and using that like the inscription inside the cryopod to actually kind of find out where he went and everything, and turned out to be pretty deep space in still within their galaxy. So I think, yeah, I mean, again, I think space is a vast expanse. I'm kind of wondering exactly how far out of space they can go, because I think with this right now, with them finding Fitz, they have to go into deep space, and it's like deeper into like the Milky Way, like Daisy mentioned. But yeah, I mean, with space being as expansive as it is, it kind of leaves me wondering, like, would they ever even talk about or consider going further out into the? I mean, they wouldn't want to, because then they'd be like, as regions that we have no idea what's out there and who's out there and all that kind of stuff. So I think even going into deep space, I think the team actually had a problem with, because they didn't have enough fuel, they didn't have the resources, and they were all tired, and the team was smaller than they actually started out with and everything. So everyone else was like, Piper and Davis and Daisy were like, let's go home, let's restock, let's rendezvous, let's actually get back in touch with S.H.I.E.L.D. Back on Earth too, and actually let them know what we found, and then we can go back. But then with Gemma, I was like, what, we have no idea like how warm this lead actually is. By the time we go and do that, like, he might be even further away, or we won't know what's happened to him. So regardless of whether or not the rest of them like it or not, they're going into deep space to find Fitz. So yeah, we had new looks for Daisy and Gemma as well, like Gemma rocking bangs and Daisy rocking like a cool blonde purple kind of side parting, and even having her suit touched up as well. So that was cool, and Piper and Davis are with them too. I think they're the only two other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that are with them. So I mean, I do kind of wonder what actually happened to the rest of them. I think because they said like the rest of them left like maybe like halfway through, or like just like along the way. But then it's like, given that they're in space, I kind of wonder like exactly where they went, like if they like, because once you're in space, like, there's really nowhere else to go. I mean, I don't know if the ones who left somehow knew like had somewhere else in space that they could stay that wasn't Earth or something, or like I think can't really imagine that they'd be really able to go back and forth back to Earth for people who would want to jump out at the last minute. But I don't know, maybe space mercenaries or something if they're feeling particularly ambitious. But either way, the team got smaller, and Piper and Davis being the only ones we'd actually know from previous seasons too. They were the only ones who really stayed behind. So yeah, and then we had the S.H.I.E.L.D. team back on Earth too. So I think Mac is officially the director, and he has been for a year. I think the season 6 opener kind of took place a year after the stuff that went down in the season 5 finale. So like a year later, he's officially the director. He's he's well placed, he's well cemented, he's respected, he's people look up to him and everything. So there's that. But then he also, like, I think in that year he also did kind of dive into the job like full force, and kind of shut like other connections and other things out, other relationships out, and that led to him and Elena actually taking a break, and them two just kind of just being on a break, possibly taking a break. I think don't know if it's an officially sanctioned break, or if it's just them kind of taking hints from each other and moving apart. But either way, she then kind of took the hint and then kind of moved on to Keller, like one of the new recruits in the office and everything, and they were together. They've been presumably hooking up and just having fun and just, you know, having mutually reciprocated kind of feelings for each other and everything. So, and even new recruits, I think is like a whole kind of selection, like a whole new team in the office. But then like mostly field agents too, because then in the end, May and Mac both realized that like what they needed was more brains and more actual kind of, you know, like brain power in Shield. So they approached an old connection of Andrew Garner's, and that now building the foundations for what could be the new kind of Shield Academy in the future too. So I think how far they actually get with that this season, we don't know, or at least I don't know, you know, like how far they get with that, if they actually going to manage to get anywhere with that, or if like, you know, because I think, looking back on the Shield team we now have, I kind of can't help but wonder, like, if it's maybe too good to be true, or because, like, we have so much more background agents, and then we have, like, an actual fully fledged agency now, with more tech and more resources, and, like strike teams, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping at some point that they maybe even do the slightest clarifications as to how all of this got funded and everything. So, you know, because I think like a huge bump up in funding is something that they clearly got compared to last season. So, you know, like the Lighthouse is now like a fully operable kind of base for them to work out of and everything. So, yeah, I don't know, but either way, new and improved Shield, and May and Mac are kind of taking the forefront alongside Yo-Yo and everything. So, and of course, May did spend Coulson's kind of final weeks with him, and then she promptly returned back to Shield and everything. So Coulson is dead. Coulson is dead, but his face very much isn't. His face very much isn't. Like arguably the biggest reveal of the opener is that Clark Gregg is back. So he's back in technically two ways. He directed this episode. I don't know if he's going to direct this one too, but he directed the premiere. So I think presumably maybe if he kind of jumps in and out of directing episodes in this season, then that could be cool. But he's also returning very physically on screen too. He is Sarge. So we have we have another crew presumably from another reality, or maybe even like another universe or something. That there were like rifts and stuff opening up and everything. And we had Jaco, which is the big guy, Dwayne Johnson with facial hair, as I like to call him. And then we had another guy who had like a full head of hair and a beard and everything. Then we had Tinker, who got stuck in the wall and then I think probably died at the end. And then we have Snowflake, the girl who actually played Decoy, like who played pretend to be a victim or like a hostage or something. And then then they blew up the museum and made way for Sarge to come through with the train truck thing, the truck with the train carriage attached to it and everything, and then out came Sarge. So Sarge he has Coulson's face. Whether or not he's actually Phil Coulson, or if that's like a name he's dropped, then we don't know. But yeah, he has Phil Coulson's face, but he has no recollection of what Shield is or anything. Like he seems so much more kind of, you know, so obviously very different from Coulson. I think he actually killed one of the Shield agents holding Snowflake hostage and everything. So yeah, and he claimed to have no idea what Shield was. So he's not Coulson, but he has Coulson's face. So it's going to be interesting to see how the team reacts to that and everything. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the premiere. That's pretty much all the kind of things I picked up, minus any other kind of tidbits I'm missing out on. But those are all the main points. So that's all covered. So yeah, on to episode number 2 of season 6. Let's go. Oh, Sarge is going to get shades. Is he going to get shades? Coulson had shades. Oh, all black ones. He's got a lot less hair than Coulson too, yeah. Is this a robbery? I can't imagine that they're actually going to pay for any of this. Yeah, this is just a robbery. This is a full-on robbery. Cincinnati. Ooh. Oh, she wants cool mugs. He wants actual supplies and she wants cool mugs. Understandable. He doesn't have a cool mug. And he wants slushies. Oh, yeah. Slushies and the brain freeze that comes along with it.
You can tell a lot about a world by its currency.
The US dollar?
Paper with faces on it.
Oh.
Great. One of those.
One of those? Oh, dude, don't try it. You're outnumbered and outgunned.
People fantasize about doing something dramatic in times like these.
Yeah.
You don't look like a hero to me.
Oof. Were those incendiary bullets? There was a bit of fire. Oh, such a dick. 5-star map of Ohio. They're in Ohio. I'll say Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. Well, shit. Can't lie. They do look pretty badass. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, they got cloaking? They've got cloaking! Wow, that's cool.
Do you not believe me?
Oh, she was the only one who saw. Ah. Fox saw, but then he died. Yeah, she's the only one who saw, so it's not... And given that she was the last one to be with Coulson too, it's, yeah, oh... Well, that's a good way to move forward, isn't it? Yeah. And their truck is actually livable too. Yeah, it's like a giant RV. With a workstation and everything. This is a big-ass truck.
He just filled our stomachs for the first time in days.
And he hasn't had his home atmosphere in 9 years. So find a way to cope.
His home atmosphere. So they aliens? Or is it the Earth from their universe that has different... Yeah.
And his pockets didn't make it.
No, his bottom half didn't make it.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not on me.
You got something to say, Pax?
Oh, Pax.
We all should have been in the truck.
Can we all be part of that museum right now?
We send a trailblazer every time to clear a path.
It's supposed to be Jaco the Giant, okay? Who can survive a hail of warhammers.
He's
Nice.
so.
But we have to scramble and torch the place early because she can't keep her knife in her pants.
Jewellery.
See?
They're gonna rob a jewelry store now?
Tinker died. He was a friend.
That's what friends are for.
For dying. Wow. This Sarge is a madman. He's a madman with a plan.
Fear manifestations, nanomasks, inhumans. So I'm thinking I should revisit the file on those life model decoys.
LMDs.
Which really shouldn't be a thing, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could this guy be an LMD?
Well, there's already been one of Phil Coulson. That seems like a possible
An LMD
explanation.
Phil Coulson. Or could it be a universe where things run in reverse, where it's like an Earth covered in LMDs, like everyone's an LMD? Is he part of a crew as well? They're all running the same thing. Has he found his own crew? Has he moved on from S.H.I.E.L.D.? Xandarian... Xandar! The Xandarian snail. Didn't he have that in season 5?
Idakla Sirakla D.
Oh, did he tell them he's from another planet, not Earth? From Sivos.
Daleka.
Really north.
Achavari.
Really far north. Ah, he lied to them. They don't know he's human.
Ijala Sima Arikidis is Rikinam Patisa.
And they're catching on. And where's Enoch? Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Oh, and he's caught. Oh, he changed his eyes. Oh, and she can just punch them back in?
Goroda.
Enoch! He's hidden behind pipes. Why are you hiding in pipes?
I patched all your fuel lines and rebuilt your entire tank irrigation system.
Also increase the efficiency of the CO2 scrubbers by 30%. Has the added benefit of making the Xandarian snails more fertile.
Oh.
We'll work for free.
Finally, a persuasive argument.
Working for free.
If you can get all that done before we arrive at Narrowatsia, I'll consider not kicking you out that door.
No, actually, I think that's the planet Gemma mentioned last episode, isn't it?
I mean, didn't you ever take a load off back in your home turf? Your past life or whatever?
Past life?
One day you're gonna tell us about it.
Don't hold your breath.
Past life? Was Coulson reborn as Sarge in another universe?
You might want to spend some time with Keller, talking through this. He recommended Fox for this job.
I think he'll be going to someone else for comfort.
Ah, he knows. Yeah, he knows.
This LMD theory's not panning out. LMDs don't have DNA.
That's true.
You love secrets, Melinda. Anything you want to share?
Take it easy.
I was there.
Did she bury him?
He's gone. You have no right to question that.
Or did she burn the body?
This is a sample from the convenience store.
The slushy.
First I thought it was alien radiation markers I've never seen. Foreign methyl groups. And what you have left is a 100% match for Philip J.
It's
Coulson.
Phil Coulson from another universe! It's Coulson from another universe! His variant! It's a Coulson variant! We have a Coulson variant! Oh, this is exciting news. This is exciting news. This is a development if I ever saw one. We have a Phil Coulson variant.
I'm confident we will find a way to return you to cryostasis According to the seer, you are needed in the future.
Oh, so he still believes that then.
I just want to find Gemma.
She's coming for you, Fitzy boy. She's coming for you. Much to the rest of the team's dismay.
I took your advice, did the math, and I realized it's wasteful for me to pay employees when I have 2 harder working slaves. Why not let the dead weight go?
Is he gonna kill the others?
You're relieving the engineering crew.
No, he's gonna
Us.
Yeah.
Glad that airlock's working again.
Oh, so is that why he did it then? Yeah.
You could shut your mouth and be thankful I let you live.
Even the music too for the crew, yeah. The music just sounds so badass. So this is still Phil Coulson then, among other things, yeah. So is there no S.H.I.E.L.D. where he's from, or did he just not go into S.H.I.E.L.D.? Did he choose a more destructive path?
Hey.
Oh, I love that jacket on her, yeah. She's so cute, I can't even help it, she's so cute. Murderous and cute. I kind of dig it. I kind of, I dig it.
Right now you're sizing me up, wondering how much paper money a guy like me has to spend.
Paper money.
Worry about you, because it's about to go nuts when we rob this place.
Oh, that's a hell of a confession.
People fantasize about doing something heroic.
Oh,
in
jeez,
times
this
like
again,
these.
yeah.
But I'd save your own skin. My crew's about to incapacitate these guys.
Oh! Whoa! Damn!
You'll be a beautiful
A butterfly.
They don't all become butterflies, sweetheart.
Don't ruin her beats, Pax.
It proves my point.
Ah, a little murder butterfly with her little knives.
A hero after all.
So are they actually looking for money to get around, or are they just like... Are they adrenaline junkies? I do get slight adrenaline junkie vibes from them, can't lie. They want the vault. Why would a jewelry store have a vault? What kind of jewelry would they have in a vault? Was it like oh, this is where they cut the diamonds, is it? Or is it, would they keep the diamonds here?
Death is just the beginning of a magnificent journey.
You don't have to kill everything.
Didn't he do that on the truck as well? On the wall of the inside of the truck? Is this an opening? Oh wait, maybe this is an opening. So they're creating an opening, but this is not clear though. This is inside the store. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. So do they load everything into the truck this way then? So instead of bringing the truck here, they... that's an interesting way to rob places, yeah. That's cool. That is actually really cool, yeah.
I can't just sit here, can you? Okay, cool.
I think you can, yeah. So glad we have Enoch back again. I'm so glad we have Enoch back.
How many people did Max say went in there?
3 plus a hostage.
Then why do I see 5 heat signatures?
Pax, Jaco, Snow, Coulson, and yeah, hostage, yeah. Okay. Just had to make sure I do a head count.
Listen, Dinah, Snow here's dying to spill your spiritual energy all over the floor, but I can hold her off. I'm talking about PEGs.
What the hell is a PEG?
You know,
Piezoelectric gems. Crystals that are naturally polarized that can generate an electric charge under applied mechanical pressure.
Crystals?
They have a way out.
Some kind of tech.
Nothing gets past you, does it, Keller?
Being a hero.
It's about women being able to look her in the eye again.
She'll have to replace you.
Oh, that's such an asshole closing line. No, it's still opening. Oh! The other airlock! There's more than one airlock. Okay, the other airlock opened. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, Enoch need to hang on and actually undo it, yeah. Oh gosh, Enoch. Oh, there's nothing to hold on to. Come on, Enoch. You got it, buddy. You got it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so he got rid of Viro. Yeah. Or Viro, yeah.
Viro could not be reasoned with. You were right in preparing for the most violent outcome.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that knows how uncompromising hateful men can be.
Yeah, the framework is still fresh in his mind. Still fresh experience, and arguably good experience. Oh, God, May sucked him. jeez. Oh. Oh shit. Oh, Jaco. Oh.
Don't kill her without me.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oof. Snow and Jaco. Yeah, he's a big, and this is like fighting Mr. X from Resident Evil. Oh. It's like punching a brick wall, mate. Oh. But then the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So if you get them to fall, oh jeez. Have her legs completely recovered from season 5? Oh. Oh jeez, yeah.
I'm picking up on a lot of unhealthy anger from you.
Oh. Ah. Oh, that was a good move. Oh, that was a good move. Oh, Jaco and Snow. What the hell is this thing? Is this some kind of blaster? Or is it gonna burn the world? Oh, you don't want to run that way. Oh no. Oh no. Ugh. Ooh. Oh. Took the bowl full of jelly. Oh. 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 Gosh. Melinda freaking May.
Seriously? I leave for 3 minutes and the plan goes all to hell?
Oh, May, you can't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Oh. Oh. Again, she's the only one to see. Oh, again, she's the only one to see. Again. Oh, you fuckers have impeccable timing, don't you? Jesus, couple more minutes, my freaking ass.
I lost.
No, you stood your fucking right. May versus Jaco and Snow. Oh, God. God, that was such a good fight scene.
That word.
Coulson. That word, that name, Coulson.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it rings a bell.
Oh, it does. It rings a bell. It rings a bell. That's interesting. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. Oh.
Into the line! Let's get out while we still can!
That's Coulson. So what's happening to the world they're on then? What's happening to that world?
Wherever these people came from, I think they destroyed.
Is that what that gun does? The gun, it just, I think, because he was firing, aiming at the sky. So he fires it into the sky and then stuff starts dissolving. So they're planet hoppers that just destroy planets.
Where do we take them?
They could easily find employment on the planet of Kitson.
Kitson? Why does Kitson? Isn't that the name of one of the writers or something on the show? Something Kitson?
I've got time.
Well, you're meant to be asleep for 70 years, so yeah, arguably you have got time. Where are they at though? They're oh, fuck off, no! Oh, they're flying in the opposite fucking direction too, oh god. Fuck me, they're flying in the opposite direction, they're literally just half a light year apart, I don't even know if that's accurate.
I can feel it.
Does he have his? Is he wearing his? I don't know if he held his too. God, I hate when they do that, when they're literally miles apart, but then even worse when they're going in the opposite direction too. That's just salt in an open wound. Salt. Open wound, salt. God. Doing a great job though, doing a great job setting up that reunion. Okay, okie dokie. So... yeah, So we meet the truck crew. I'm gonna call them the truck crew from now on. Calling them the truck train crew seems just a bit kind of, you know, just a bit weird and long. But yeah, I think they still as we saw, they still have a truck, and even that even that truck is like it's a home. It's got workstations. It's got like an armory. It's got like everything jam packed into one. I mean, sure, it does still look and feel kind of cramped and ever so slightly claustrophobic, but then there's only like 4 of them, so yeah, even with one man down, I think now it's more space for the rest of them, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's probably how at least some of them are thinking. Like even Snow, like rushing to actually check through his belongings and actually see what she could take and everything. So, yeah, but it seems very, very homely, and I think even the truck itself is pretty advanced tech too. I think it's got like a cloaking lever thing and everything. So it's one of the things I actually love about the ring portal from Doctor Strange. Like portals are like that. Portals are like that where you can actually see pretty extensively too, especially when the camera pans around and you can actually see like from like, and the angle of the environment keeps up with it too, like portals where you can actually see the other side crystal clearly, like portals that are like whirling pools and stuff like those are cool, like in the Flash, like Cisco's breaches, like those are still kind of cool. But then portals like this, I mean, these might be easier because then it's on the actual same plane, like it's not like dimension hopping so much as it is just actually getting from point A to point B through like a much less kind of like powered kind of wormhole or something. But with this one, these portals are so cool, and even I think it was May who actually like tried to close the portal by actually like pulling the thing down from the truck side. Like that was so cool. Like even like actually knowing the plane, like I think the gravity wouldn't shift, but then the plane itself would actually shift, and then that I actually hitting the floor instead of the one, everything like that whole kind of like the mechanism of that and her actually knowing to do that was so cool. Then pulling it back up again, and of course like the only way to close the portal being to actually pull the device off, and then it comes off and everything. So that was just so cool. So we also meet the different members too. So there's Pax, where we finally have a guy with like a name for the guy with the hair, as I mentally dubbed him, the guy with the hair and the beard and everything. That's Pax, and then we have Snow, so Snowflake, but Snow for short, and then we have Jaco, and we have Sarge. So Sarge, I think like hats off to Clark Gregg for actually pulling off Sarge as his own actual kind of properly intimidating and menacing kind of character. Like he's a guy who does not give any fucks, and I think he sets himself up. I think he's definitely set him up as a guy willing to punish and willing to kind of be very, very intimidating and very, very kind of criminal and very, very kind of, you know, daunting and everything. Like even his lines towards the civilians too, like it's usually in times like these that people kind of like fantasize about doing something heroic. So if you're thinking about that, then don't. Like even the cashier and the shotgun and the woman in the jewelry store and everything, you know, like those lines, like very definitely seem like top tier kind of antagonist and like potentially even evil villain lines too. And I think he definitely kind of seems like a more kind of like a take no shit and do kind of necessary harm and necessary damage kind of guy. So yeah, he's not afraid to get his point across. And he like even him putting like getting Pax back in line too. He's not afraid to kind of what's the word, like discipline his own group and everything. And then there's Snow as well, who has an obsession with reincarnation, but also specifically with butterflies. And I think, I mean, with butterflies, I mean, I did read somewhere that like technically speaking, like caterpillars do die before they turn to butterflies, because then when they're in that cocoon, they do actually melt down into like a technically kind of unalive kind of goop before they actually regenerate as butterflies. So technically speaking, caterpillars actually do die, and then they're reborn as butterflies, so it's technically like a new life and everything. So interesting little tidbit there. But then with her, like her obsession to butterflies, because they could then actually kind of stretches out that far, like actually like killing people and telling them like, don't worry, you'll be a butterfly, you'll be reborn as a butterfly and everything. And even Pax being like, you know, like not everyone comes back as a butterfly, so you know, pick something else, be a bit more original this time. So yeah, but still, she seems like a murder butterfly I would both protect and also let murder me. So here I go, simping for yet another woman in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is, honestly, at this point, it's my brand. Well, when it comes to my reactions for this show, it's my brand. Simping for hot, potentially evil women. That does seem to be ever so slightly my brand. So, you know, like, sure, Ada was evil, but was she hot? Yes, hell yes. So Well, these guys, I think, I mean, there's no telling if they're particularly evil or if they're just kind of somewhat dickish and also, like, really just don't really give a shit about people they hurt. Or they did say they're going around killing people, but then we didn't really see them actually actively killing many. I mean, apart from people who were in, I mean, unless the museum was evacuated, then anyone in there. And then Fox, they killed him. They killed Fox. Coulson killed Fox, and then, but they didn't kill the guy in the convenience store, and they didn't kill the woman. Well, I think we actually don't know if I think we don't know if Coulson found her and killed her. I think Coulson saw her running away, and then he chased after her. And well, Sarge did. Sarge, I keep calling Coulson Sarge did, but we don't know if he actually killed her though. So the gun didn't really look like it had actually been fired, so I don't know if he actually used that. Or I think that gun doesn't really kind of seems like a bit too OP for killing people with, based on what we saw in that footage. But May and Max said that they'd actually been going around on like a killing rampage, but I feel like we didn't really kind of see them killing anyone, at least not intentionally. Like it wasn't like they were going on like a killing spree or running people over or anything like that. So I don't know. But either way, yeah, Snow seems like someone who still has no trouble with killing and like uses the butterfly thing as like a way to maybe cope with it, or maybe something she actually does believe and stuff. And she seems very kind of like kind of carefree about killing, and even kind of takes like a almost sadistic kind of pleasure in it, like not like a down to her core kind of evil like mastermind or anything, but then still she has like a borderline kind of like a. She definitely holds no qualms about killing or maiming or anything. Like even her telling Jaco about going up against May, like being like, don't kill her without me. I want to be there when you kill her so I can tell her she'll turn into a butterfly if she dies. So they clearly hold no qualms about killing, but it doesn't seem to be as much of a priority to them as world destroying does. So yeah, but Snow, honestly, again, she's an adorable little killer butterfly. She's an adorable little murder butterfly who I currently love, and I would love to see more of, and I'd love to see like more of her and where she comes from and what she's all about and everything. So don't get rid of her too soon. That's all I ask. Don't get rid of her too soon. So yeah, love me some Snow. Love me some Snow. They definitely are from like another universe, or at least like another world, like maybe potentially another Earth, but definitely like another world where the air is different, because I think Jaco was actually like breathing. I thought he might have been getting, but for a second I thought he might have been getting high, like maybe off some kind of gas, like just something. I thought he was actually getting high. Sarge did mention something about like Jaco still taking time to get used to this world's air, or like he misses his world's air or something. So I don't know if that means that they're all from different worlds or something, because then he said his world and not our world. So I don't know exactly how heavily that might apply, but he was like breathing in some kind of maybe like supplementary kind of gas. So the DNA test that Benson did show that like it boiled down to the DNA of Phil Coulson, which I'll get to in a minute. It boiled down to Coulson's DNA, which I think would imply that it could have been still human DNA. Maybe like the world they're from is like a human variation, because then he said like there were other things tacked onto it too. I think to begin with it looked really green, and like I kind of want to say like really mossy green, like really like plant green, like a really mossy green kind of thing. So I don't know if like they're from like a heavily green kind of planet, or like a plant-based planet, like a I mean, I don't know, like they did keep calling Earth a rock, like this rock instead of Earth, or this planet or something else. I don't know if they're from like a place that's like Earth but not called Earth, or maybe it's not Earth but then it's still inhabitable by humans or something. So but then the DNA was still different before it boiled down to all this stuff. So then maybe this Coulson maybe this Coulson is Sarge, but then it's like he has different DNA tacked onto it or something. So I don't know. But then Jaco, he was breathing different air, because I think he was still getting used to it. But then he was only breathing that for like 2 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes in that one scene. I think the rest of the time he was still kind of like somewhat able to help out, and until they actually brought the portal in, and then he came through. But then that was like a small diversion. So like maybe the air could be different in terms of proportion, like in terms of like there's more nitrogen or less nitrogen or whatever have you, like the atmosphere is different. So I don't know, but either way, that's that's their need, that's their kind of respiratory requirements. So Yeah, I think Snow. I kind of have the feeling Snow collects trinkets too. I think because I think even in the opening scene when they were robbing the convenience store, I think they stole the slushies to actually consume, and then I think Sarge took supplies like some kind of liquid or like some kind of bleach or something. He stole a bunch of those, and he stole shades to look cool, which he does. But then Snow took a mug. I think she pushed all the food off the counter, but off the shelf. But then she actually did sort of like a mug with Cincinnati stuff on it. So then she took that. So I think I get the feeling she could be like somewhat more of like a collector or something. Like I can imagine her having like a collection of cute kind of mugs or rocks or whatever tickles her fancy, and then she just collects that and stuff. The DNA like on top of besides from having other kind of elements and minerals kind of stacked on top of it, boiled down to 100% a 100% match for Philip J. Coulson. So yeah, again, I am assuming that does mean like he's human, because then for it to be a match, it would have to also be human DNA, right? I think the actual species would have to match too. So variants, like at least in like Marvel kind of TV, even in TV, like it was only really brought up with Loki. Only Loki actually explicitly explained and explored the concept of there being variants, and even the variants having differences between them, like there be like Sylvie being like a female presenting variant of Loki. In that sense, variants can actually have differences among themselves and everything, but then they could still essentially be the same-ish kind of person. But with this case, it's actually I think with this case, I think with the MCU logic, you can probably apply the term variant, but then it does remind me a lot more of like how they used doppelgangers in the Arrowverse, like in the Flash, and eventually throughout the crossovers too. I think they did explore more like doppelgangers from other universes and everything. So like Black Siren being Laurel's doppelganger, and even Barry having his own like non superhuman doppelganger, and Iris and that being a thing. So I think it does. I think like Sarge doesn't even have any really like memory of. I think he doesn't seem to have any memory of who he was or what he was. I think there was a mention, I think, by Jaco or Pax or something about like a past life, and that really kind of seemed to kind of make Coulson turn his make Sarge turn his head and everything. I'm probably gonna mix his name up a little bit before I fully adapt to calling him Sarge, so bear with me. But hearing about a past life did seem to tick him off and everything. So Benson did say you told me this guy died before, but then came back before he died this time. So then what's to say he didn't really come back again this time? So then that really seemed to tick May off too. So she did say that he is fully gone this time. But then, and I think maybe there doesn't need to be, but then there's been no confirmation of if she actually buried him or if she burned the body. Because I think usually it's like if you burn the body, then that's that. Some more far-fetched kind of end results might be that someone tries to steal the ash and do some magical, mystical shit with that, but then usually burning the body is like a surefire way to prevent resurrection at all, But then this time, I think she herself would have made sure anyway that he actually got laid to rest and he got laid in peace and all that kind of stuff. So there's that. But then past life did seem to tick him off quite a bit. But then now with Coulson dead here, I think maybe Snow might have a point about reincarnation. Maybe he actually is maybe his soul was taken into another universe and he got reborn as Sarge, But then Coulson did seem to ring a bell. It did seem to ring a bell with him. I think even Jaco recognized that too. So I wonder if it is like a past life thing, or maybe if he is if it is a reincarnation thing, then. I mean, none of reincarnation could fully work, because then he only died a year ago, but now he still looks relatively older, because it's Clark Gregg, and then they haven't de-aged him or added any kind of actual aging makeup to him, and he still looks like older than what Coulson actually did back in season 5 and everything. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. He's still a perfectly handsome man, but still. But I think when someone is reborn, granted, it's a year difference, but then even then he still looks older than he actually would have. He actually looks like an appropriate year older. He doesn't look like an actual kid or anything. Because then if he's reborn, he would be reborn into a new life as a baby. So I don't know. Leaning slightly more into the actual doppelganger theory from Arrow, the Arrowverse kind of doppelganger concept too. Even then, the doppelgangers like Laurel's Black Siren doppelganger. Black Siren was evil, but then Black Canary was a hero. I think granted Black Siren did have redemption, but then still she started off she started off as the actual evil kind of the dark side Laurel. So maybe in this case, and Tommy on Earth X was Prometheus too. So maybe in this case, this could be Coulson's evil doppelganger. Maybe he actually is much more of an antagonist and more of a criminal and more of a murderer than Coulson was. So it's a possibility. I feel like it's a possibility. So For some reason, like a couple of times in my head, I imagine like a bank vault with like gold bars and all the super expensive stuff. But then once I actually opened the vault and showed the actual workstations and the desks and stuff, where like with the magnifying glasses, where they'd actually cut the diamonds and probably do that, that made more sense. But I can't help but wonder if they would really risk doing that in a jewelry store, because then a jewelry store alone already, like the front kind of public area, like it already houses all their most expensive jewelry and then all the stuff they already sell. Like that alone is easy enough to actually kind of access and potentially hold a robbery. But then if they actually kind of like hold the more expensive, kind of like say they take the more expensive diamonds out back and into the vault and they do that kind of stuff there, like it just seems like that kind of a workstation and like a working kind of process happens somewhere else more remotely, and then maybe transport. But then it could have like a robbery could still happen either way, I don't know. But maybe like for diamonds that need less modifying, maybe then it's quicker to actually still have something in the back and stuff, instead of actually maybe having them wait to have it sent to another place and then have it cut and then sent it back again and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it felt peculiar. Do they put crystals in jewelry? Like I think it does remind me of when you have like those like really kind of cool and pretty rocks in like necklaces or like in bracelets or something. Like you won't always have diamonds in jewelry. Like jewelry could still be bracelets or like a pendant or like a something else. You could have like a crystal gets cut, or like a crystal like a marble, or like a rock of some kind. So them having crystals did seem pretty cool and pretty interesting. So yeah, I think no word on whether or not those were the crystals they were looking for, or if they can actually turn those crystals into what they need, you know. But they stole them and they more than happily took them anyway. So there's that. So they are looking for PEGs. I think maybe the PEGs could be the one that could be what powers the gun. Because then I think in the end I think Sarge was still ready to use the gun. He was aiming it for the sky and he was ready to power it up and everything. So I think maybe could be what powers up the gun. You know, maybe like the pressure is applied inside the gun and then it produces the charge, and you know, more like the more crystals they use maybe provides some more power or something. So I don't know, but either way that's what they're looking for. So the footage showed like the world they were on, that they were just leaving, it was kind of like dissolving almost. It was almost like, I think, because at first I thought it was actually birds flying on, like birds kind of flocking, like when disaster is about to strike, but then animals can actually sense it before humans can. So like you'll see like rats scuttling away, and you'll see birds flocking as far away from danger as they can, and even dogs like start barking randomly too, because then they sense it before. So at first it looked like birds swirling around or flying away from danger, but then no, I think then don't know if it still could have been even partially, but then you saw, I think there were like actual bits of like debris and fragments of the actual world around them just kind of flying off and dissolving and almost flying about and stuff. So I think that much kind of confirmed that there might be planet hoppers who destroy planets along the way. But then overall I think I kind of wonder like if they're like maybe evil adrenaline junkies, maybe. Like I think I do get slight adrenaline junkie vibes from them. Like I think they don't seem afraid to deal with any problems that might come up. They're armed, they're capable, they can easily fight, and they're even prepared to kill. So I think they're prepared for danger, but then it doesn't seem like they go actively looking for that kind of danger. So I don't know if adrenaline junkies would be exactly the right term, but then maybe like they have the same abilities and the same capabilities and the same kind of interests as adrenaline junkies, but then they have a very specific type of adrenaline maybe that they're looking for. So maybe that's actually planet hopping and planet destroying. Don't know if they're trying to find a way back to their world, and maybe if they're trying to find a way back to their world, because then there was no mention of actually going home. There was no mention of any of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's meant to be more subtle, if they haven't mentioned it yet. But if they are trying to find their way home, then maybe they need to actually destroy each planet to actually kind of like generate enough energy to open like new rifts and new openings and stuff, and new clearings as they called it. So. And I'll tell you who else gave absolutely no shit this episode, and that was May. Like, that fight scene between her and Snow and Jaco, like, oh my god, like, that fight scene was on point, like, Melinda May. I think I love even more, like I think that fight scene, above all, kind of showed, like, reminded me that Ming-Na Wen does, I think, like, the vast majority of her own stunts, or at least, like, she at the very least kind of insists upon it, but then I think she also is very, very well trained, behind the scenes and everything, so I think she's very, very capable of doing her own stunts, no matter what they be, like, if they're, like, parkouring, or if they're combat, or whatever. So, but just seeing her going up against like someone of Jaco's scale and someone of Snow scale too, like Jaco being the well-built kind of brick wall that he is. I think to me the first thing that came to my mind, like I said, was like the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But then even like May kind of like knowing, I think May kind of actually knowing to actually switch it up too, like with Jaco being quick on her feet and being agile and blocking his and like not even blocking but like evading his attacks, and then going for like any soft spots she could and everything. I presume she got him between the legs a few times. So. But I think in the end, I think she was building up to like a the bigger they are, the harder they fall type thing. So then when he fell, there was like a big like a very very kind of loud kind of thud and everything. But with Snow, I think she didn't really. I don't know if she really fought back as much, because I think with her, I think I can't tell if she really kind of fought back as much or even fought May that much. I think with her she had the knife, and I think May's already again she's fought too much and won too many fights to be taken out by a knife here and now, which I was afraid of happening. Once she saw Sarge, I thought Snow might come up from behind and actually try and knife her in the back or something, but no, she just kind of tripped her up in the portal. But yeah, no, I think May knew to take her out kind of like pretty quickly and pretty swiftly and everything, and I think Snow didn't really put up much of a fight. But then I wonder if that might be the difference between her and Jaco, like Jaco knowing he's built and knowing he can really kind of pick someone up and throw them if need be, but then Snow kind of hanging the knife and actually being more subtle about it, like she even threw the knife into the security guard and cut the other kind of guard's throat out. So maybe she's like someone who actually maybe fails the first time, but then she's actually watching her opponent and studying them, and then the next time she comes in more kind of slicey and wavy and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, but either way it was still like a super tense and super well choreographed fight. So actually having her going up against like two opponents like that kind of drastic in their differences too, like actually one who's quick and really kind of edgy almost, and then another one who's actually really big and wide, like a really kind of big target to have and everything. Like again, May is a beast. Melinda May is a beast, and she proved it with that one thing alone. Again, she's only ever distracted by Sarge and stuff, and then they got the upper hand. So yeah, Melinda freaking May. And yeah, we had Fitz. We saw Fitz and Enoch again, our boys, our Scottish boy and our Scottish bean and our Chronicon bean. We saw them again. So Fitz has gone for a clean-shaven look and everything. Don't know if he has much choice or if I think if he actually found time and the blade somehow to shave. But yeah, he did. Either way, he's gone clean-shaven. So yeah, and I think he was working with a Civonian. I think a crew from Sivos or Sivos. I think. The alien planet names are going to take a while to register in my head, but he was working with an alien crew, and he lied to them. He actually lied to them about being from the same planet they are, but then he got his geography was slightly kind of out of date maybe, because then the part he claimed to be from was actually, to their knowledge, a highly irradiated wasteland, so he couldn't possibly be from there, so that gave him away, plus him literally trying to crawl like a wall panel out and everything. He was hiding Enoch behind the pipes and everything, so there was that. But him and Enoch actually managed to make it onto that ship and managed to pass themselves off as a crew. But yeah, I think his main mission was still, I think, because I think even Gemma did say that like he'd actually find out where the pod was from and then try and find a way to that planet so he could get another pod and put him back himself into cryosleep. So I think he picked out, he hitched a ride on that crew, on that ship to actually make it back to that planet to Naro Atia, which the ship is now still on the way to, but then that's the final destination. So then his final mission is still, because then I think he has no idea that the team from the present day are actually on their way to him. He still believes that, because of Robin's kind of vision, it's his destiny to actually wake up 70 years in the future and be ready for them. So he has no idea that they're actually on their way to him right now. So he hasn't forgotten. He has not forgotten the crew in any way. He's not forgotten S.H.I.E.L.D. or the mission in any way, but he's still, with being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, I think especially what the S.H.I.E.L.D. team have shown us over these seasons and over these years is that they are still incredibly adaptable, and they can adapt to almost any kind of environment, almost any situation, almost any new kind of team's kind of presence and everything. So he hasn't forgotten the mission, but then he knows he still has to make his way through the galaxy and kind of like earn his keep and keep up the act and everything and all that kind of stuff. So he's been doing that perfectly fine. I'm so glad we have Enoch back. I missed him so much. I'm so glad we have him back. I mean, if we don't get Deke back, then that is a loss I can over time learn to deal with. If we don't have Deke back, then I can learn to deal with that kind of loss over time. As much as I loved him too, I think I can. So I think I can learn to move on from that because we have Enoch back. If we lost both of them, we never had them back again, then I'd be in a lot more trouble. But then because we actually have Enoch back, and we're in no danger of losing him again, or at least hopefully anytime soon. He was still able to kind of blend in somewhat to the crew and everything, and to the point where he also he didn't want to have to watch them die just because he only really claimed to be better than them to be able to live, but then he didn't realize that would mean that the Viro was actually sadistic and careless about them enough to actually kind of sacrifice to him just so that Enoch and Fitz would actually work for free, because then he said we'll work for free, but then he also did say I'm more productive than they are, I'm better than they are, so then Viro would then logic that to then blasting them out the airlock. So then Fitz, I think again he shows a lot of even for people who actually spotted him right from the get-go of the episode, and people who actually put two together and realized that he lied and didn't belong there. He still did not want to see them die, so he still very much is kind of fighting for that compassionate side of him more and more because he knows what he was capable of being in the framework, and he even said he knows what it's like to even try and compromise with harmful and unreasonable men, like he has experience actually being that in the framework and everything, and he knows what it's like to also be at the mercy of people as unforgiving and as uncompromising as Viro. So he wants to actually keep the Doctor at bay and actually not be anything like that at all anymore. So he is very much still willing to actually kind of spare a heart and spare some compassion for the crew, and he knew they didn't deserve to die. All they did was catch him out on a lie. Like he at least felt and knew that they didn't deserve to die. So he still kind of prompted to actually rig the airlocks, or at least have Enoch rig the airlock so that Viro would actually fly out into space instead and actually save the crew and everything. And I think in the end it definitely felt like they were grateful enough to actually let bygones be bygones, so that was cool. Yeah, and of course, again, the thing I hate when you have an ending like that, or even sometimes it's not even an ending, it's just a scene that takes place somewhere in the middle or somewhere towards the end. When person A is right here, but then person B is right there, they're so close, and then I think you know what had it? Partners in Crime, Doctor Who's season 4 premiere, Partners in Crime had it, the Doctor and Donna in such close proximity. I think the street one bothered me the most. The one when they're actually in the street, he was in the alley and then she was on the road. If they'd actually just gone forward just a bit more, they would have seen each other. But then in their defense, in that very same episode, they definitely kind of had a more iconic and much more hilarious reunion. So with this one, I don't know if it's going to be equally as iconic or hilarious as that, but either way, I think seeing it happen regardless, I think the payoff obviously makes it worth it, but then seeing it happen regardless just irks me. Especially I think the more they lingered on that shot of going off into space, the more they lingered on that shot, I was like, okay, is this just meant to show us the BT? Because then they also did have some really cool planet shots and galaxy shots and nebula shots and stuff in this, actually showing off more of space and then the space visuals and everything. So they're definitely still keeping up on those visuals and that visual budget and everything. They're definitely making it pay off, so that's still really cool. But then the more they lingered, I was like, okay, we're just meant to marvel here at space, because then I'll happily do that. But then the space in the corner actually warped, and then the portal came in, and then the Zephyr came in, and I was like, oh, you're going to do that to me, aren't you? But then I thought at least actually make them go in the same direction, but then no, they're actually flying straight away from Fitz and further away from him. So that shot, not my favourite shot besides from the visuals, not my favourite shot, because then they're in the same pocket of space that he's in, but then, the distance, instead of closing, it's opening even wider, and yeah, but then even that ending alone, I think assume maybe the next episode might focus more on the BioQuake kind of team, kind of somewhat borderline berating Gemma for punching those coordinates in and getting them even further into darkness and deep space and all that kind of stuff. So hey ho, she wants to find her husband so badly, the husband that doesn't yet know he's actually her husband. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. So I think he'll still be happy to know they're actually married, because then that's still something else. Because then as soon as he saw her in season 5, he was like, you know what, not even space can keep us apart, so I want to marry you, let's do it, we're perfectly sure that let's do it. So now it'll be curious to know if they show some conversations that he has with Enoch of actually thinking about proposing to her or thinking about marrying her or something, so that'll still be cute to see. So when you're in cryo freeze, is it anything like being in a coma? Like I think even being in a coma, I think don't know exactly what that's like. Like if the person's still able to like dream, or if they're still able to actually have some kind of visions in their head, like if they're actually able to imagine stuff or dream about stuff or think about stuff, or maybe if it actually does legitimately go by too quickly. Like for them it's like 5 minutes, but then in real life it could be like 5 months or 5 years. Like in this case it's like 70 years, but then for him it might be like 7 hours or 7 minutes or something. You know, so. I don't know, because I think cryo freeze like your body literally like your body is slowed down to that extent, but then in a coma you're literally asleep and your body still ages and stuff. So I don't know, like even with Steve, like he looked as young as he was because he was frozen in ice, like in like a more unorthodox kind of cryo freeze for him. But with Fitz, it's definitely controlled and on like a timer and everything. So he's going to say near enough the same number of years as Cap, but then he's actually opting for it. So he's actually volunteering for it. So. But I think so far that might be it. That might just be it. So yeah, interesting, very interesting second episode. Very interesting, very interesting second episode. A good look at the truck crew, good look at who they are and what they're doing, and hopefully more to come in exploring them and everything, and hopefully more to come on exploring Sarge and seeing where he comes from and what he remembers and what his past life could have been like and everything, and seeing how the S.H.I.E.L.D. team continues to pursue him, and seeing how Bioquake and company managed to find Fitz even with their ever-increasing distance in space and everything. So yeah, as always, please do let me know what you thought and how you felt about this and what your theories are and how you're finding Sarge and his new truck crew and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this one. So that was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, Episode number 2. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is going to be coming up in this season and what you're looking forward to and any theories you got. For those interested, the full-length reaction for this episode, along with all the previous episodes before this and all the seasons before this too, will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye-bye for now.